The stars that slide across our heavens have for millennia inspired both awe and fear. But it won't be the stars that bring disaster. That will come from the comets and asteroids that careen through space and smash into our planet. These collisions have modeled our past and will shape our destiny.
Well, we're talking about a natural hazard that's capable of wiping out human civilization or even the human species. So now that we have the capability to look and see if there's something threatening, we should look.
Every day, billions of tiny alien invaders bombard the Earth. They're fragments of asteroids and comets. Most of this fallout is no larger than a pinhead, but once every century, there's an assailant big enough to wipe out an entire city. Every 50 million years, there's an invader big enough to wipe out entire species. The last big one was 65 million years ago. We're long overdue for our next big impact. Our moon is also a target. Its surface has been pummeled since birth by a barrage of space debris. Through the eyes of the Clementine spacecraft, we see a face permanently scarred. The sun takes responsibility for the battering that Mercury receives, for its tremendous pull sucks in these missiles. And little Mercury, innocent bystander, is caught in the line of fire. Space still holds a stockpile of ammunition, and the destructive power of comets was recently felt by Jupiter when fragments of Shoemaker-Levy 9 smashed into the planet. Had Earth been their target, each fragment would have devastated an area the size of Texas. Eugene Shoemaker, who gave his name to Shoemaker-Levy 9, needn't always look millions of miles into space to see such collisions. He knows that Earth, too, is a sitting duck, and his detective work uncovers evidence of terrestrial hits.
Well, I've been looking at this feature for more than 30 years, and I knew from observations at the telescope of the asteroids that are out there in space near the Earth, and that could hit the Earth, and I could calculate how often they actually strike the Earth.
He knows the Colorado Plateau like the back of his hand.
And I knew the average age of the beds exposed.
He figured that there should be a crater
somewhere on the Colorado Plateau, and you couldn't hide it.
And he couldn't understand how he could have missed it.
And then I said, Shoemaker, you dummy, you've only been looking at it for 30 years.
And luckily, I walked into his office a week later, and he said, let's go look at this thing.
I came back out here with a young graduate student from Caltech, and we said, if this is an impact crater, there have to be faults around the outside. And we looked over the canyon, and bam, there they were. You could see them. They were obvious as the nose on your face. These faults are formed when the initial cavity that's excavated by the impact collapses, and then the rocks all the way around on the outside just slump in toward the original crater.
Now just a deep crater, this area was once utter devastation.
The energy of the asteroid that struck here is equivalent to the energy released if one were to detonate all at one time about half the nuclear weapons of America.
A relatively recent strike in Arizona forms Meteor Crater.
We have very good geologic evidence for the bombardment of the Earth by asteroids and comets in the past. There are more than 150 craters like this one that we've found so far on the Earth.
Wolf Creek in Australia. Half a mile across, the rim thrown out when the missile struck is perfectly